Hey guys, welcome to the channel, or welcome back. My name is Noah, I'm a tarot reader, and today this is going to be your tarot reading. So you are someone who is incredibly intuitive, and this comes up a lot in situations with other people. You could have people who tell you that you're psychic, or like you have a lot of interactions where they're like, how did you know that? Like you finish people's sentences, or you say something that they were about to say, or like you'll find that you just are like thinking the same things as other people. I was getting Prophet by King Princess. So, and people like notice this about you. You're very alluring, because you have this like way with people, because you're psychic, right? Like you are very empathic. You pick up on what other people are thinking and what they're feeling. You know, like consciousness is like a radio, right? We tune into different frequencies, and you're like, I feel like you're like a super radio. You're like the hub, and you can control your radio very, very well, very easily. And a lot of people can't do that. So you stand out. I also just feel like you're very enchanting. You have an alluring energy. Check out where your Venus is in your chart and where your Mercury and your Mars is. Because I feel like maybe you have some prominent placements with Jupiter, but like I said, just a lot of people are very drawn to you. So some other indicators of this is a message for you. I pulled my tea leaf cards, and you could be traveling for Christmas, traveling on the mountain road. Either you live in mountains or traveling to go see family or friends like in mountains. I was getting this very like strong image of like being like in your car driving through the mountains, like through the windy road singing. You could be with a co-pilot, someone who is like sitting in the front seat telling you where to go. You could have like really prominent fingers for some reason. Like people could always be commenting on your hands, or like you wear a lot of rings, or you always have like really nice nails done. I'm also picking up on someone who is like, you're very, like people recognize that you are very, very smart. You have a lot of skills. You could be prominent in your workplace, like have a high position, or simply just like people go to you as a problem solver. You could also be a writer, or an artist, something where you work with like pen and paper. I was getting that too. You could wear a lot of like purples, purples, greens, and blues. And also I'm getting that you are like this, you either are an older man, or you're going to be seeing an older man over Christmas that's very significant to you. So if any of that is familiar, like this reading is for you. So I was getting two things mainly that Spirit wanted to talk about. And that has to do with, because you are very, very psychic, like you are the seer. Like this is you. You have a very direct connection to the divine and to your own ability to connect in the 5D, right? Like you're not limited to just your 3D material world. And so I was getting that the first message was physical boundaries. So you have the Queen of Pentacles here in reverse. So this could be a family member. I'm getting it's someone that you're very close to, either, like I said, family or friends, or like, I feel like this is someone that you're visiting or that you are connecting with during the holidays. And this is someone who is usually in a very bad place. They have a hard time holding on to money. They're very much like in financial strain a lot of the times. They could have asked you for money, or for financial help, or just physical help a lot of times, and you in the past have given it to them. You've been very generous. You've given them, even when you were maybe struggling, when you didn't have very much to give, or you had like children or a dependent or something that you were saving towards, you still gave whatever you could to them. And this could have been in childhood too. Like if this is a sibling, I was picking up like this could be a sister. So you've been very generous with them, and you've been, giving with them. But the message that Spirit is saying is that you need to enact physical boundaries. And this is a great opportunity to do that. And that doesn't mean, cutting off your heart, or cutting off, if you are supporting them in some way, cutting it off completely. And it could mean that, right, if that feels good to you, but it means enacting some physical boundaries, because the dynamic that is happening right now is keeping them in chains, keeping this woman, this feminine energy. It could also be a man, but they definitely have very strong feminine energy, keeping them, bound in their own their own, you know, self-limiting beliefs. And the thing is that they feel very lonely. Like, the reason that they come to you is because you make them feel seen. You always lend them an ear. You always listen to them. You always, you know, make them feel like a real person. Like they are, you know, being seen. Like, maybe you listen to their problems when no one else will, or you give them help when no one else will. And, you know, I was also getting, they could also suffer from addiction, mental health issues, something like that. And I think this person also struggles with, you know, physical boundaries, with themselves, like I said, addiction, like, or overeating or something like that. Like, they themselves don't have good boundaries, and it is like leaking into your relationship with them. And so because they don't, like, they're not going to enact boundaries on their side. So it's up to you to enact the boundaries. And so what's happening here is that, you know, they have the power to be financially sound and safe by themselves. Like, she has the power and the future, like her pathway to a future where she is, you know, completely single, standing by herself, not having to ask you or other people for finances or, you know, aid, is very much like in her future. It's very much available to her. But what's happening right now is, you know, she's standing in this codependent energy with you, where, and with other people, where she's relying on like other people to help her, and it's keeping her stuck in these self-limiting beliefs, in these chains, and these of her own making, and it's causing a lot of internal fighting. So I pulled the Seven of Swords. Like, this is her like getting away with it, and it's not like her, it's not the pure, you know, essence of her soul, of the divine that we all have. It's her shadow self, right? It's her ego, it's addiction, it's substances, it's the part of ourselves that, you know, our indulgence are like the devil. It's just her shadow side. So her shadow side is able to grow and to prosper, and like, because it keeps getting away with this, right? And it's not just because of like the help that you're offering, it's a lot of different things. But what it's doing is it's allowing this fighting within herself, this internal battle, because all we have our light and our shadow sides, and really it's just like, you know, one and the same, right? It's just opposites, but we kind of view them as like, you know, oppositions fighting. And especially when we're going against ourselves and like indulging our shadow sides, this struggle comes out even more, because we aren't integrated, right? Like, we're choosing to indulge the shadow over the light, and it makes us feel bad, when really like we need to integrate them to then make, you know, healthy decisions. So, you know, her shadow self is like getting away, while, you know, the full entirety of her person is stuck in this conflict. And, you know, the big lesson here is like, I went like, this is what she's going through right now. And then I was like, okay, I need to see like, what is her future? What's her potential? And Spirit was like, oh, just wait. This woman has great potential. She's got all of her needs, like, right, she's getting all of her needs from you, from other people, whatever, instead of like sitting on her own. And Spirit is like, the universe will provide. And so what she needs is a shift from, you know, the charity of others into getting it from the universe and through herself, right? But the big message was that the universe wants to provide, the universe wants to support her, but she has to start this healing journey. She has to take the steps forward and, you know, integrate those two sides of herself, her masculine and her feminine, her shadow and her light side. And, you know, that this like healing is very much part of her journey. And I also pulled the Temperance card on the bottom of the deck. Like, she has the ability to heal. And this is something that I personally have experience with. Like, I had severe anxiety, severe depression, severe mental health. Like, I wasn't leaving my house for days, weeks on end. Like, I couldn't hold a conversation with people. I was disconnected from my friends and my family. I was, you know, using, you know, weed like every single day just to get by. And, you know, during the time, like it was the way that I got by, and, you know, it is what it is, but like I was able to heal. And so like, she has the ability to heal. She just has to go on this journey, right? Really look inward. And, you know, I feel like sometimes we do need a push from the outside to look inward. We need something to break. We need like some kind of tower moment to make ourselves go in. And so, you know, this is your decision. Like, this is the message at the end of the day is like, this is your decision. You know, if this woman comes towards you for help, it is your decision to enact which physical boundaries you want to enact, right? What is it that you want to set limits on? So like, take some time to think about it. It doesn't have to be like, you don't have to make a decision right away. If she comes and asks for something, you can say, you know what, let me think about it, and I'll get back to you in the next couple of days. And then really think about like, what are the boundaries that I want to set? Maybe it's like, okay, I'll give her, you know, however much money she wants now, but this is going to be the last time. And tell her that, like, I will give this to you now, but this is going to be the last time. Or if she has kids, I will, you know, pay for the things for your children directly, but anything else, like, you need to get money to do that. Or, you know, like, it could look like a lot of different things. Like, you know, I'll still pay for this if you get a job, or if you start going to therapy or go to rehab, or whatever it is, right? And it's so that you and her can now enter this new stage of the Page of Wands, where like, you are the Pages of Wands together, right? The Page of Wands is like the beginner of the suit, the beginner of the wands, and the wands is all about action. And so it's like, she's moving from, you know, all this conflict to now simplifying things and moving forward with just the beliefs and just the actions that actually do serve her. Because like, you know, with the Five of Wands, she's taking actions in like multiple different ways. Like she's doing things that do help her, that do aid in her recovery and her health, that are like moving herself forward, but she's also doing things that are moving herself back, you know, as we all do. And, you know, she's in the position where she can really move forward and to really minimize these things that are holding her back. But she needs physical boundaries, and she needs restriction. You know, this is the card that I pulled. Restriction. Sometimes we need some kind of restriction to let ourselves grow, to, like I said, move inward. So, you know, that was the message for this woman that you will encounter, that you are encountering, this Queen of Pentacles, who, like I said, she has so much, like she has a Queen of Pentacles card, like it is out, especially next to the Nine of Pentacles, like there's a lot of yellow. Like she has the ability to be financially okay by herself. And it may be a journey, it may take years, you know, but you know, the journey of 1,000 steps starts with one. So it's up to you to decide what boundaries you want to set with the finances, with the aid that you want to give her, so that she can now move on to this part of her life. So, okay, secondly, the second card I pulled was all about divine connection. So this is about something that has been weighing very, very heavily on your heart. You've been like in turmoil about it. You'd be having like a lot of heartburn, something that you've been like worried about. You've been like staying up nights, maybe thinking about it. And it's something that you've maybe been scripting about. Maybe you are into manifestation, you're into the law of attraction. And it's something that you really, really want, like a wish, like a Christmas wish almost. And sort of saying like, they definitely see you. They see you, that you want some solution to this problem, and that it's coming for you. Like, you've got the Nine of Cups, like your wish is being fulfilled. Whatever you've been trying to manifest, some kind of problem, some kind of issue where you're having a lot of heartache about it, a lot of like consternation, your wish is being fulfilled, and it's going to come in this form. And so the cards I drew for this one were not as clear. It was a lot more major arcana. I pulled the Fool and the Sun. And what I'm getting is that you were being disrupted. Like there was some kind of disruption, and I'm feeling like it's your work. It could also be a love connection though. But you were being disrupted. You felt like you were halted in this area of your life. Like there were a lot of obstacles that were coming up, or you like couldn't find the right person to date. You kept meeting people, but none of them were right, or things like kept coming up that always, like you would make one step forward and things would come up and you'd have to stop. And so recently, this is the end of this disruption. The end to whatever this is, whatever that you've been manifesting, something you've been really worried about. Like think about the thing that you've been worried about. Like this is what this is about. You've been feeling roadblocked, and you have been, but it's the end of that. And it's going to come into this new gift, right? This new gift of a new thought that's going to come from a Queen of Wands. So another feminine energy. And this could be you. You could be the person that is going to solve this problem of yours or give you relief. I'm also feeling like it's another person though. So, you know, take what resonates. If you're actually looking for someone like to invest in your company, or you're looking for like a lover, then this is definitely going to be another person. But you have this Queen of Wands coming in, and they're coming in with the sword. They're coming in with a new avenue for you, a new like opportunity, a new like I'm getting like a complete new avenue of your life like is about to open up. Like a whole journey is about to start for you. Yeah, and I pulled the Fool. So it is a whole new journey, and I feel like you've been really worried, and this is going to restore like your jovial attitude, your attitude of childlike innocence and wonder, and the end to like your worry and your suffering. It's a lot of pentacles, so I feel like this is financial, but you know, it doesn't have to be. But it's an end to your worrying, your suffering. If you've had like, maybe you've had some kind of injury and you're like, need like a really good doctor or something. I'm not really sure what it is, but they're coming in. And I feel like this is manifesting as you being very, very bored with something, or very discontent. Like you keep looking at the resources you have, at what you have, and you're like, how am I going to make it work? Like, I'm clearly missing this piece of the puzzle. I'm clearly like, there's something that needs to come in that's not, like, I feel like you've been like ruminating over this problem, and it's because you have only been focusing on your 3 cups, and Spirit is now presenting this 4th cup that is going to be the final piece of the puzzle. And it is, this Queen of Wands is gonna be like, is like the emissary of this cup for you. And it's going to allow you to, first of all, approach this issue with a new attitude of wonder and fun. And like, I can't wait to now with this aid or resource, I can't wait to now tackle it, or to now embark on this new journey, whatever it is. And it's also going to help you become more of yourself. Let your light shine. You've been very much like going through it, maybe crying a lot, going through some depression, maybe sleeping a lot, just feeling not like yourself, feeling downtrodden, like looking down like you can't see the solution, feeling like you're trapped, feeling, like I said, just maybe even disconnected from Spirit. But this is coming in. The Queen of Wands is coming in to help you, to show you that you are the sun. You have everything you need. It's always been in front of you, but you just haven't been seeing it. And like I said, this is going to be the end of disruption. Like I feel like you've been in this mode of waiting. You're like, you know, you keep going over your resources, keep going over the problem. You're like, okay, I've got these things going on. If you're like looking for a lover, you're like, okay, I worked on my boundaries. I healed my mother and father wounds. Like, I've been to therapy, you know, I'm, you know, fairly active. Like, I eat okay, you know, I have hobbies, I have friends, and I'm putting myself out there, but you know, nothing's happening. And they're very saying like, no, you have someone coming in. You have a chair filled coming in to fulfill this wish. And I do feel like this is some kind of Christmas wish. And I do think it's kind of related to this person, this other person. So, because also they're both feminine energies. So, you know, setting these boundaries, and you know, whether this may not like physically manifest, they may not approach you right now, but this person is in your energy. And so take the time to really think about like, where do you want this relationship to go? What do you want to, you know, still entertain the avenue that you've been going down? And, you know, just write it down, you know, set a little boundary with yourself. It could just be internal until it manifests externally, but just doing this shadow work with this Queen of Pentacles in reverse that you are, you know, giving a lot of charity to, and realizing that you are like enabling her in some way, will open up the door for this other person to come in who will help you. And like, the connection is very, very strong, right? Like, things need to lead before other things can come in. So anyway, that's what I have for you. I hope this resonated. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy Yule. Take some time to really like reflect on your year and really congratulate yourself and love on yourself for all the things that you've done, that you've accomplished. You know, every single day, just waking up and going about your day is an accomplishment, is the whole purpose. So remember that. I love you so much. Bye. See you next time.